Alrighty, a little behind today, by a lot. But let's begin the beginning of the end of Stormblood. Alizé. It's been a while. Oh, Niren, if you come hoping for news, I'm afraid there isn't any. Exactly. Everything is exactly as it was. Ishtel is still investigating primals in the Far East, Thancred is gathering intelligence in the Imperial provinces, and Alphano is still out there somewhere. There's been no word since his first secluded report, nor does he respond to calls. All the while, I'm just meant to sit around here waiting. It's driving me mad. Begging your pardons, I bear a message from the Orsian Alliance. Oh, good. If it was a girl, I'd have to change the voice. Oh, thank God for that. We have a visitor. Welcome to the Rising Stones. If you have a message, I should be most eager to hear it. Milady, the Alliance leadership will soon convene to discuss the matter of the Ascian interference, and they humbly request the presence of the Scions of the Seventh Dawn. Having assessed intelligence provided by the Alamegan resistance concerning the whereabouts of Xenos' remains, they too suspect Ascian involvement and wish to deliberate a suitable course of action. As for the foremost authorities on our foe, your oldest counsel will be most welcome. Of course, we should be glad to assist in whatever way we can. With almost everyone else afield, I say this one falls to us, by which I mean I'm not going on my own. You'll come with me, I trust. I'd rather not. Of course I will. There you have it. We accept the invitation. Thank you. The time and date of the meeting shall be shared in due course, but I can confirm that the council will take place in Alamigo while you'll leave. Somehow doubt we'll have anything useful to offer, but standing mutely at meeting would still be better than doing nothing I've been doing of late. Let's make ready to depart, shall we? Thancred, what's going on, man? Oh, it's real. Oh, yeah, it's real. Haven't voiced real in forever. Alright, just be careful on the road back, you hear? Did I hear that right, real? Is Thancred coming back? Aye, that he is. Says he's acquired some important intelligence. Being in Garlean territory, though, he couldn't risk sharing the particulars in case Imperials were listening in. So he said he'd head back as quick as he could and make sure someone was waiting for him in the Alamegan quarter. Understood. Niren and I will go. Bound for Alamigo anyway, and there's sure to be time before the council begins. Come on, let's be off. Ba-da-da-da-da-da. To the quarter of the Alamegs. Oh, what the hell? It's quick 11. Oh, 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 oh. Oops. I'm going to assume, yep, there he is. It is said the mighty Levenbolt doth that war steed Ixion ride. Thunder, the rumbling of his hooves as they pound the very heavens, where the coming storm for hell descendeth. Sorry, this is like a special zone fate. That's a special boss. Like a realm board had Behemoth and Odin, and oh boy, Odin got stronger every time he was beaten. At one point he got so strong he killed the whole server that was after him. For Heaven's Word it was Karl Gina. And for here it's Ixion. Ah. Usually they get like special weathers and shit. Oh no, you don't. No buffs for you, sir. Quick little story detour. Uh-oh. Ow. Almost there. I don't have the barding, but I don't think I have anything else from this fate. Hey, GG. Horns. Oh, well, maybe I should just teleport back. Maybe I should just teleport back. I should just teleport back. Thancred. You two are a sight for sore eyes. Now all I need is water for my parched throat. Fetch me a couple of you. Tramping through Imperial territory is thirsty work. Yeah, hi to you too.
God, I needed that.
Well, my last name isn't Waters, and it is.
I won't bother telling you to catch your breath. Whatever brought you galloping back to us, I assume it's urgent.
Quite. Without further ado, then. After the successful uprisings in Doma and Alamigo, rebels in several other provinces were inspired to follow suit. Unfortunately, they did not fare quite so well. The Dalmascans paid the heaviest price. For their defiance, the Emperor made a show of razing their capital to the ground, prompting many of their neighbors to abandon thoughts of resistance.
Yeah, we saw that with the release raids.
But not all have given up on liberty. Heartened by the news of Doma's prisoner exchange, some still believe that the Empire may one day be amenable to negotiation. We have the shinobi to thank for spreading the good word. They have worked tirelessly to keep the subjugated informed, and a little knowledge can go a long way.
There's at least a spark of hope, then.
A spark in want of kindling, yes. The Alliance has already begun supplying materiel to resistance movements abroad, many of whom would otherwise struggle to continue the fight. The support effort has been led by the Sultana and the Elder Seedseer, who have both seen enough Alamigan refugees to know the consequences of oppression. And for their troubles, they have quickly earned a reputation as folk heroes in certain corners of the Empire. That is all for the provinces. As for the Garlean motherland itself, our friends the Populares have suffered something of a setback, I regret to say. Talk is rife that Doma has summoned a primal, and the Empire's more liberal voices are being drowned out in the fearful clamor for retribution.
And who did they think orchestrated this summoning?
Oh, any but those truly responsible. Xenos has seen to that. Speaking of whom, the Crown Prince is recovering remarkably well. Well enough, in fact, to enable him to personally tour the provinces, putting the fear of the Emperor into the hearts of any would-be dissidents.
He walks in plain sight, and none suspect him. Then it's as we feared.
Yes. An Ascian wears his skin.
My sword is stabbing me through my chest.
It was not that which brought me here in such haste. During my time in the provinces, I learned many things. Yet at no point did I hear any report of a Doman emissary in the capital.
But Alphonse should have arrived by now. Could they be holding him there in secret?
The possibility did cross my mind, but I have reason to believe he never reached his destination. As you know, scions assigned to covert operations, such as Riol and myself, are issued special link pearls for communication in the event of an emergency. I mention this because it was originally Alphino's task to coordinate the response at headquarters, meaning he has one. And whose voice should I hear when mine recently crackled to life?
You spoke with Alphino?
Spoke with? No. I but heard his voice, and none too clearly at that. 2 words were all I could make out. The burn.
The wasteland on the edge of Otherd. Something must have happened to them there. There's no time to waste. We must make for the burn at once.
I had a feeling you might say that.
And? I can't very well sit around here drinking tea if Alphino's in trouble. You said yourself that this link pill was only to be used in emergencies. So I'm going, and that's the end of it.
Me too.
Oh, far be it from me to change your minds.
Loath I am to neglect making preparations for the council. We must act swiftly before Alphino's trail goes cold. I propose we pay Hein a visit, to want to hear about these developments, and he may well be able to advise us on how best to reach the burn. A sound plan, and Y'shtola is in Doma, is she not? I dare say she'd join you in the search if you asked her nicely. Well, you see to that. I shall go and report my findings to the Alliance. You may leave any preparations for the council to me. Thank you, Thancred. Right, to Doma then. We have much more to share with Y'shtola. What to say, that's a doofy ass hat. It is. Wait, hold on. What's it called? The Filibuster's Hood of Casting. Of course. That is curious indeed. While other matters demand my attention at present, I shall bear what you told me in mind. Should you notice any change, do not hesitate to seek me out. Thank you, my lady, you are most kind. Well, well, two faces from the dim and distant past. Come now, it hasn't been that long. Who was that you were speaking with? A local miner who supplied crystals for the rebuilding effort. Of late he claims to struggle to find a crystal with so much as a trace of elemental energy. Upon learning that I had some knowledge of ether, he came seeking my counsel. Just now he brought me one of his recent finds. It was precisely as he described, devoid of elemental energy and eerily reminiscent of de-aspected crystals that manifested in Eorzea in the days prior to the calamity. We would be wise to investigate this phenomenon more closely. Indeed, but on a more positive note, the locals seem to have taken a liking to you. More of an interest than a liking to, I think. The sight of a Makote with peculiar contraption upon her head has certain novelty value in these parts. Any actual regard they may have for me, I owe wholly to you and others who came before. Everyone here has been exceedingly cooperative. I am pleased to report that I have all but concluded my investigation. Simply put, focusing one's will upon ether-infused object of worship, it is possible to conduct a summoning. So the fact that they are objects of worship is the key? They are themselves suffused with requisite belief? Correct. Such sacred relics as the Kojin collect obviate the need for religious fervor in the summoning. Yotsuyu believed, being the most obvious example, she had but to associate an artifact given to her by Asahi with the divine, and it served to amplify her desires and give them form. A form nourished through the power of crystals. Also provided by her brother, and thus Tsukiyomi brought into being. Which brings me to question our preemptive measures, to which I have yet to find a satisfactory answer. At present, I know naught that will avail us, save to keep watch over the movement of relics and crystals, as if we did not have enough to keep overwatch already. But I doubt you came all this way to hear that which may be perused in a report. Has something happened to Alpha know? He went to go as a Doman emissary to the Garlean. I shall join you in the search, of course. Thank you, Ishtola. I should be glad for your help, truly. Now, if there's nothing else, I shall go on ahead and request an audience with Lord Hien. Zay puts on a brave face, but she has little talent for concealment. We should join her at Kain Kan. Khan? I'm gonna go with Khan. Kian Khan. That's the word. Greetings, my friend. Alize has explained all to me. Needless to say, you shall have our full cooperation in the search, even if Alphanor's trail does lead to the burn of all places. The region known as the Burn occupies a special place in Garlean history. Every child in the Empire is familiar with the tale. In the distant past, there was a verdant land teeming with life, but successive summonings saw blood dry of ether and reduced to a desert. It was upon beholding the devastation that the primals had wrought that Emperor Solus was spurred to embark upon his crusade against their kind. The ban offers a glimpse of the future we seek to prevent. Know you of any reason why Alphanor might have gone there? Aye, mischance. Though it lies en route to Garlemald, there is no place to make stop. My guess is they encountered some manner of trouble there. In any event, I am of the same mind as Alize. We have no choice but to take our search to the burn. Given the considerable distance involved, it's best we went by bird. Nira and I have yours, Yugiri. Will you ready the falcons for the others? I shall gather our swiftest birds. Near the House of the Fierce there is an overlook. Pray join us there once you have seen to your preparations. Dope. Get that ready. Do 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 do. If everyone is here and present, possessed of a bird, let us be away. Remember, our destination is a barren wasteland. There's no civilization to speak of for hundreds of malms, or 100 malms in all directions. Take care to not lose your way. So... Oh, he in tanks as a samurai. That's funny. But, I'm going in solo. Oh, everyone joins me anyway.
Make ready, friends! We are come to the burn!
Oh no, everyone's scattered.
Everyone, land where you can! We must wait out the storm!
I wonder if this cutscene plays. Do you have more bird friends with you? I would do this with the NPCs, but I am a smidge pressed for time since I gotta continue a whole part and I gotta do it as much as I can since I'm behind schedule again. Listen here, you rocky mole, I need you out of my way. Well, well, well. Alligans. It's always the fucking Alligans. Oh man, nothing like accessories. The boar. That's a deep hole. Uh-oh. No gear, only accessories. Oh, goo. You missed. Oh, half-masked casting. Actually... Whoop. Huh. I like it. I can't dye it, though, but I like it. Hey, Despair. It was an Alaskan bullworm. Yeah, I almost forgot that there's a giant, massive corpse here. Uh-oh, antlions. Volunteers, trousers offending. I'll need to see the rest of the gear. Considering this looks like a giant sandworm, makes you kind of realize just how big these things can get. What hole is that? Do I spy in the distance? Danger, that's what. What do you mean too far away? Earrings and 5 gazelle hides. Yay. Alright, anyway. Sand chungus. Uh-oh, I'm dying. Oops, I brain farted on that. Uh-oh. No you don't, no you don't, no you don't, no you don't, no you don't. Damn it. Man, I hated how I had to learn the blue mage spell. You had to let this complete. And you had to take the full brunt of it. Defeated it is the Mist Dragon. Oh look, everyone's here. Why didn't any of you help me? You had it. Kinda wonder what everyone says. Out there in the distance, the dragon was much as mist as was flesh. She's worried about Alpino and... What were you saying, Y'shtola? Dragons at Allegan ruins are seldom a coincidence. Wow, you know, wow, that never really, like, hammered it onto me. They might have experimented on that dragon. Ugh, more pants. I'm gonna drink some water because I'm pretty sure I'm gonna be talking a lot, unless it's voiced.
Between contending with bloodthirsty beasts and sand in my every conceivable place, I'm quite ready to leave this wasteland. But first things first.
I hate sand. It's coarse and rough and gets everywhere.
Do you see the crashed ship over yonder? Judging by its class, it must be the vessel that bore Master Alphinaud away.
War Machina. It would seem they were involved in a struggle. There may be clues. We should split up and search the area.
There's no sign of Alphinaud, nor of Maxima and his people.
Well, those alive anyway. What do you mean, his people?
These were no ordinary soldiers. Over here! The insignia on this man's uniform identifies him as one of the Emperor's personal guard. Hand-picked soldiers, answering only to the royal family.
That would explain why all the casualties are Garlean. They were fighting their own.
You're saying the Emperor was behind all this? That Alphinaud is his prisoner?
Okay, now, knowing what I know... Why are there birds in the background? I thought this place was like a barren wasteland. Like, I understand, like, everything... Never mind. I'm gonna question it. Now, I know that I know Alphinaud was fine. But, in reality, I don't. Well, we don't know that yet.
Aye, we must not jump to conclusions. Besides, Alphinaud is more than capable of looking after himself, is he not?
I suggest we return to Doma to consider our options. Whatever happened here, Master Alphinaud is long gone, and any subsequent search may safely be left in the hands of the shinobi.
Poor Alize.
Where in the world are you, brother? If you die on me, I will never let you hear the end of it.
Well, that was decidedly an uneventful journey. I almost found myself hoping for a sandstorm. Joking aside, I'd say our birds are due for a good brush down and a treat or two, wouldn't you? Ha, yeah. My bird deserves all the treats. I'd hoped to steal a moment's rest for our little outing, but it would seem duty calls again. A foreign emissary arrived in my absence. Do not let us keep you then. Actually, I was wondering if you might join me. I don't think of a guest who could fail to be impressed by the presence of the scions, at least none I should be happy to receive. Of course, if you think it would be useful. Thank you. Let us return to my manor then. Man, freaking rain. You know, whatever. Still a foreign emissary. Who could that be? No, seriously, who? I don't remember. Lise!
Lise, what brings you here?
Oh, Alliance business. We have a request for Doma. Well, Hien. But that can wait. They told me you were out searching for Alphino. Did you manage to pick up his trail?
Unfortunately, no.
Well, if he wasn't at the crash site, he might still have escaped. We have to keep searching.
And we will. Alphino embarked on this journey as an emissary of Doma, and I hold myself responsible for his safe return. I will have our shinobi in the provinces search for him as a matter of urgency. Chin up, Alize. You'll get to admonish your brother for his recklessness yet.
Well, someone has to do it.
Yeah, let's say someone's gotta beat the shit out of Alphino, and no one does that better than you.
I'm sure he's going to be fine. There is one thing I'm not sure about, though. You said it was the Emperor's personal guard that attacked Alphino's airship. But the Popularis would never have been able to arrange the prisoner exchange without Varys' blessing. So why would he sabotage his own mission?
Because they weren't following his orders.
They may not have been acting on Varys' orders. The guard answer not only to him, but to his family. The Crown Prince included.
When Yotsuyu summoned Tsukuyomi, Asahi was quick to proclaim that a dormant citizen had violated the terms of our agreement, that the negotiations had failed. And it is this version of events that is now being repeated across Garlemald. To hear the tale, one would think the prisoner exchange never took place. Plainly, someone is manipulating matters from the shadows. Most likely Xenos, or whoever it is that wears his face.
Whichever Ascian you mean. We all know the nature of our adversary.
Yeah, there's like... I stopped La Habrea. Igyorm was also stopped, not Brialis. There's like 7 left.
The servants of chaos are true to their name. Their meddling has cost Doma a chance at peace. Whoever it was that loosed his personal guard, the Emperor cannot be ignorant of these developments. We must proceed on the assumption that our treaty is indeed in tatters. But come, Lise. You have journeyed far. Let me hear your petition.
Right. So the big news is that Alamigo has agreed to join the Eorzean Alliance. To make it official, and discuss where we all go from here, the leaders of the 5 nations are planning to hold a meeting, and we were hoping you might come too. We've already seen what we can achieve when we work together, and the Alliance hopes to work even more closely in future. They think it's our best hope of keeping the Garleans in check, and I agree.
As do I. By coordinating our efforts in the east and west, we may be able to discourage them from committing their forces to a single front. I accept your invitation. I must, however, ask for time to attend to some pressing matters here. In light of recent events, the risk of Imperial reprisals is greater than ever, and I would not leave Doma unguarded. Ere I depart, I must shore up her defenses.
Understood. I'll let the Alliance know. We'll wait to hear from you before setting a date. The meeting's to be held at the Royal Palace in Alamigo, incidentally. Do you remember the way?
You going to invite tempered people back in, Lise? Yes, I'm still sore about that.
Please assure my hosts that I will not keep them waiting any longer than I have to.
Consider it done. And thank you for agreeing to come. If we all put our heads together, we're sure to find the best way forward. For everyone.
Oops. Don't want that indoors. My advisors and I will presently convene to discuss the matter of Doma's defenses. You're welcome to stay, of course. Had you not offered, I would have requested leave to remain. Where the Ascians are concerned, naught may be left to chance. As ever, we would benefit from your experience. I thank you for coming, at least even if it was on official business. I had hoped that there might be time to show you the land you helped save, but I will settle for a fleeting visit if needs must. There never does seem to be enough time to do anything, does there? But I did get to see a little of the Enclave. You made excellent progress. I must say... damn it. I thought that was a period. You made excellent progress, I must say. And soon you'll have the chance to show me how we're getting on... You'll have the chance to see how we're getting on too, till the meeting then. Niran, I was wondering if I might have a word with you before I go, in private. Go on, my friend. I will send for Hakuro and the others in the meantime. Great. I'll wait for you at the docks. Bye. Please talk privately with me. What could this be about? Listen, can you stop using the useless? People are starting to pick up on it. Why useless? You wanted to talk, Lise? Thanks for coming. Knowing you, you probably guessed what I wanted to talk about. Yeah, but, you know, for posterity's sake, why don't you tell me? Alize, she's acting as if everything's alright, but it's clear, but she's clearly, but it's clear she's barely coping. The Alize I know is overbearing, willful, and reckless, and that's fine. It's how she deals with feeling weak. She has to keep moving or she's afraid she'll fall apart. A lot like me. The thing about people like us is that we need someone to keep an eye on us. I had Papalimo, and now I have my friends in the Resistance. And Alize has you and the Scions. Before you start, I'm not saying you're neglecting her. I'm sure you aren't, and I'm sure you won't. But she's a good friend, and when I see her like this, I can't help worrying. So please, make sure you give her all the support she needs, alright? You've nothing to worry about. Seriously. Thank you, Niran. It goes without saying, but if there's anything I can do, you only need to ask. Well, I best be off. See you in Alamigo. Lisa, you left me hanging there with that fist bump. I see a GZ. Did someone do anything? Oh, they got something. Now I gotta go all the way back to talk to Hien. Ah, there you are, my friend. Everyone has assembled, so let us begin.
If we are to ready ourselves for invasion, we shall need manpower, provisions, and time, all of which are in notably short supply.
Candid as ever, you giddy. And correct, I concede. Fortunately, I have an idea. 'Tis plain no single nation can stand against the might of the Empire. And it was only with the aid of others that Dorma succeeded in winning her freedom. So, I mean to take a leaf out of our Eorzean friends' book and form an alliance of our own. In addition to those with whom we already share an understanding, I would reach out to Hingashi and Tsuinosato, and further afield to the myriad peoples of Nangsha and Dalmasca. I am under no illusion. Not all will answer the call. Yet disparate though we may be, we are united in our desire for freedom. If our neighbors could be made to see what is at stake, Ascian machinations and all, cooperation need not be so far-fetched a notion.
It may even seem practical. Under the guidance of our former leader, Master Louis Soir, we once strove to unite the fractious city-states of Eorzea. I dare say that experience shall be of use in your endeavor.
We should be glad of your wisdom.
For the record, I would have been in favor of this plan even if it hadn't been my grandfather's, but I have to ask, how will we secure the time to carry it out? Not that anyone has forgotten, but the Garleans have airships. Lots and lots of airships. Should they catch wind of our plan, they could send an armada to overwhelm us before our alliance had even begun to take shape.
Hell, a single legion was enough to stand toe-to-toe with 3 city-states united.
Not if we deny them access to the skies. During our time in the Burn, the Warrior of Light and I chanced upon some Allagan ruins.
You told us she was there.
Oh?
Alize, you were there. Oh wait, no she wasn't.
As such ruins go, they were not particularly unusual. But something about the surrounding land struck me
Wait,
as
no,
odd.
yes she was.
Faint
Boy,
though
my
it
brain
was,
isn't working.
its ethereal residue was uncannily similar to that of Azizlar. Identical, in fact.
The fact that I didn't see her in the
For
lineup.
locations so far removed to share a single etheric signature is all but impossible. I conclude, therefore, that the Allagans created the floating continent with land taken from the Burn.
While that is a most intriguing theory, I fail to see what relevance it has to Dorma's defense.
Azizlar was enclosed in a powerful energy barrier, impenetrable even to an Agrius-class battleship. It occurred to me that those ruins may have enjoyed similar protection. I have no proof, but the Warrior of Light did report seeing a structure resembling other known Allagan field generators.
I know my tech.
Alright. But even if we could put up such an energy barrier, it surely wouldn't extend beyond the limits of the Burn. So what's to stop the Garleans flying around it?
Fuel. The Dalmascan capital, Rabanasta, was a key Imperial refueling point in the east. By laying waste to it as a lesson to the rest, the Empire greatly hindered its own operations in the region. If an Imperial fleet were to advance upon Dorma, it would now have little choice but to travel, as the crow flies, over the Burn.
That was pretty dumb.
I see.
A word of caution. Even assuming the generator still functions, raising a barrier of such a scale will require a prodigious amount of energy. And few places are so bereft of suitable crystals as the Burn.
source of energy. Tell me, did the Allagans make a habit of launching things into the sky?
A curious question. Besides Azizlar, I know of only one other notable instance. The Red Moon Dalamud, whose fall triggered the calamity.
Just the 2 occasions, you say? Then I believe I may have a solution to our energy problem.
You do?
I may. To find out for sure, we would need to visit the Azim Steppe. Which would, I now see, present the perfect opportunity to discuss an alliance with the Zayla tribes. How very neat. What say you then? Shall we see whither this road leads?
We shall. It is settled then. I will journey to the Azim Steppe with the scions. Yuri and Hakuro, I leave all the neighbors to you. My apologies, but I won't be joining you. I'm no aetherologist, and what skills I do possess are unlikely to be of any great use to this mission, but more importantly, it seems to me the ruins in the burn warrant attention. And so, while you are away securing an energy source, I will engage our friends at Garlean Ironworks to undertake a complete overhaul of the field generators. We will need them in good working order for our plans to succeed. Trust there are no objections? Come on, Alize, could you not get Tatara to do it? I'm sure she'd love the burn. Joking aside, I was planning to enlist her help with organizing everything, but we still need a scion on the ground. Don't worry, I'm sure you'll manage without me. Good luck. Good luck, Alize. Oh, it's morning. I can hear birds tweeting. Just the 3 of us then. Very well. Shall we make first for a reunion? Do. Huh, I wonder, if it's morning here, is it morning here? It is. So this is the Azim Steppe. The tales do not do it justice. If you think the view is impressive here, wait until we reach higher ground. Actually, seeing this is your first visit, permit me to show you my favorite spot. Oh, is this going to lead to the infamous line?
I will never tire of this vista. The endless fields, the boundless skies. 'Tis a sight to make a man forget his cares.
But not his purpose, I trust. Might this be a fitting moment to tell us what we are doing here?
Oh, come on, Stola, take it in.
Of course. During my time with the Mole, I learned some few myths of this land. One goes thus. In the distant past, when all seemed doomed, a wayfaring soul came unto the steppe. Venturing into the northern crag, he received of Nama a sliver of her essence, a shard of the shining moon, and with it clove the tainted land from the earth. The end thus averted, to these fields did the wayfaring soul return, and venturing once more into the northern crag, he buried the shard, and made unto the heavens an offering of blood.
A tainted land cloven from the earth and an offering of blood to the heavens. Azizlar and Garlemald.
That was my thinking, yes.
And you believe that yonder mountains hide an artifact possessed of sufficient power to raise Azizlar up to the heavens? I suppose that might suffice.
Hey, if you can lift a literal continent into the sky, yeah.
Worth a closer look, would you say?
I would.
From here we shall travel to Aloy. Hello? Yeah, I'm gonna go with hello. There we may ask Serena about the particulars of the myth and raise the matter of an alliance with the rulers of the steppe. I'm glad it's daytime. This place is very beautiful when it's the day. It's nice and bright and sunny. Oh, so the last time, if you guys remember, her character model had a bit of a hiccup where she would T-pose or A-pose. And it was hilarious in a cutscene. But they patched it out. So now she won't do it anymore. But it was funny. Hien, Niren, I'm glad of your visit and the opportunity to welcome a new friend. How may we serve you? This is a matter I will discuss with the mole. Concerns not only the peoples of the steppe, but every land in the Far East. A shard of the shining moon left behind by a wayfaring soul. And you need this to protect our lands? I do. My friends and I wish to find the shard and ascertain the extent of its power. Will you tell me more of the place where it lies buried? This northern crag? If that is your wish, in the mountains to the north there is a cavern called the House of the Crooked Coin. Inside the cavern are pillars of stone that legend holds to be the source of Nama's power. There I believe you will find what you seek. Ah, yes, I know the place. 'Tis a brisk walk from here. And what are your thoughts on the alliance? Should the Empire return, our lands will be engulfed in a storm of conflict whether we will it or no. If we do not stand together, we will fall apart. This I believe with all my heart. However... Among the tribes of the steppes there are those who revere Nama above all else. To them the pillars are sacred and not to be disturbed. Should you proceed as you propose, such tribes are like to spurn an alliance, prompting others to follow their example. That is my concern. It is by no means certain that the pillars will provide the power you seek. Ere you risk the ire of the followers of Nama, might you not first visit the House of the Crooked Coin? If all is as you hope, then we may then consider how to best earn their blessing. I thank you for your counsel. We will do as you suggest. I have no desire to give offense to those whom I would join hands. Thank you for your understanding. Though the mole may reign over the steppe today, the decision will shape the days to come, and we would not force others into war against their will. Nor we. 100-fold stronger are those who choose to fight of their own accord. Seems the time to come to put my skills to use. Pray, lead the way to the house of the crooked coin. Bye, Cyrna.
Such an abundance of ether.
Are we in luck?
We are. This is an Allegan artifact, most likely built to regulate the flow of ether. I strongly suspect the ancients used it to stem the flow from here to the burn. That would explain how they were able to untether what became Azys La from its surroundings. But were we to throw open the floodgates, the resultant deluge would surely be sufficient to raise our wall. And in restoring the flow, we may also restore life to the wasteland.
What is it?
While the device itself harbors a surfeit of ether, the opposite is true of the surrounding area. An effect of regulation, perhaps. A similar phenomenon seemed to be occurring in Doma. Whatever the explanation, the answer will not reveal itself here. We have seen what we needed to see. Let us return to Mol Illo.
It was a low. You found that which you seek? Great indeed is the Dusk Mother's power, for if not less will suffice to protect our lands. The blessing of the other tribes must now be sought. Of course, but to which tribe should we appeal? There are many who worship Nama, but none so fervent in the faith as the Dothal. Their consent shall be the key. The Dothal, least spoke of them, a warlock tribe possessed of unique customs and beliefs. I sense their cooperation will not be so easily won. Nay, but it will be well worth the effort. The Dothal feel nothing, death least of all, and our alliance will be greatly strengthened by their presence. Let's go to Dothal Ka, and there treat with their Hatun Sadu. I remember some of the pronunciations. I'm summoning the bird in here. Oh, hey, I didn't notice this. That... Do. You again. Other matters demand our time, Hagan, unless it is battle you seek. Alas, not. Quite the opposite, in fact. Blah 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 blah. Talking, always talking. You say the pillars hold great power? Of course they do. They are the source of Nama's strength. To the Dothal, no place is more sacred. It will make ash of any who defile it. Though I see is not your wish. See the wisdom in our proposition, then. You will join hands with us. I said nothing of joining hands. You wish to wield Nama's power to defend these lands, and this I will allow. But for leaving a step to fight the men of iron, I would have something in return. Namely, battle with you, Hagan. Then the Dom ended ere it began. I would face you again alone, without distractions. Defeat me, prove yourself the stronger, and you shall have the Dothal as your allies. Surely these are agreeable terms. Well, this is not wholly unexpected turn of events, though I had assumed I would be the one required to fight. Alas, the Hotun has made a choice. Well, shall we dance? Ha! Shall be a battle the steps shall not soon forget. Already my soul burns brighter. Prepare yourself, Hagan, and await me outside the car. I will gather my witnesses and join you anon. It's all starting to come back. How far is it? That's kind of far. I will do this on normal. I know, baby.
Yes! This spot shall serve as well as any. I shall enjoy this Han.
Oh, it's just Han? Why is there a G in there?
Is this truly necessary? Have you no peaceable way of making decisions?
Speak not of peace. You stand before proud warriors of the Dothal. In the heat of battle do our souls burn brightest. We lay low the strong that we may rise higher. That is our way. The way of might. There is no other.
Oh, they do not want for conviction.
Indeed. It's what makes them such dangerous enemies. And such useful allies.
Enough talk! It is time to fight!
Come, Han, let us dance. Hey. You are strong indeed, a worthy champion of the steppe. But you are mistaken if you think I will fall so easily.
In death do our souls sing! In death do our souls sing!
Fighting you is pure bliss. Such sweet pleasure. I will not suffer to end it so soon. Another one. Well, do not tell me that is all you have. My soul demands more, Han. Give me more.
In death do our souls sing! In death do our souls sing!
And poke. My arms grow heavy, my eyes dim, but so long as my lifeblood flows, I will fight on. Oh, come on, woman. 10. Oh, I have a minute to beat her. Oh, crud. This is the reckoning, Han. One must fall.
In death do our souls sing!
Ow. Did I win?
Yes! Yes! Not since the Nardum has my soul burned so! Come! We have only just begun.
Enough! You were not granted leave to set the steppe ablaze.
Why are you here?
Well, well, the sun has come out to play.
Be gone, Moonstruck Oranir! I am busy!
Dude, don't cockblock me.
Fool of a Dothal! Have you forgotten the face of your master already? The sun will never set! From his seat on high, he reigns over all, now and forever.
Last time I checked, I'm in charge of you guys. And he still was like, oh my god, not another one.
Yet what should he find here but a battle to determine the fate of the steppe? A battle waged without his blessing. This will not stand. You, Doman! You who come to petition the warriors of this land, forget that all Nama's children are wards of the Oranir. As first among my brothers, your petition is mine alone to judge.
These words are as wind from a horse's backside. Plentiful, but your axe sings more sweetly. Let her speak for you.
Insolent child. You will learn your place!
Forgive me, Brother Magni, but we have an arrangement with the Dothal. We will not abide any interruptions.
So be it. The sun will pass judgment on all. Didakul, join me.
The sun is in good company. We may dance alone.
Cool.
Beg not for mercy, for you will have none. Bear witness to the power and the glory of Azim!
Constantly at each other's throats like rabid dogs. God, I'm turning into her. I have not the patience for this. But if we must fight, let us at least be brief. Come.
She's slowly becoming Master Matoya. Oh gods, I'm turning into my teacher. Okay, we got Cure to Aether Well, Stone, and Arrow. Come, plead your case to the sun. Oh, we shall endeavor to be most convincing. When we have claimed victory, I claim Hien for the Buduga. Do as you will. Focus on Magni. Leave Daidugal to me.
Kneel or die!
You too must learn your place.
Bow down before me!
I should probably break that one too for Hien. You know, break a third one for fun. Alright, no, I gotta heal Hien.
Kneel or die!
Yeah, I know. Focus on Magnite. I'm fucking helping you out. Don't sass me, Ian. Don't you fucking sass me, Ian. I'm doing my job as a healer.
Kneel or die!
Ow. Might as well cure 2 myself.
Mark well and learn.
Let's move this right along. You leave yourself open, Doman.
Concentrate.
Kneel or die!
So you still stand, but soon you will kneel.
Bow down before me!
Mark well and learn.
This isn't over, Hien. I will be your gay lover yet. I swear, he's got a hard on for Hien.
Kneel or die!
I gotta look up what's the deal with the Baduga.
Bow down before me!
Know the folly of opposing the will of Azim.
Tremble before the sun!
Oh no, he buffed their defense. The axes will not break. You have nowhere to hide. Very well then, you're still up to me. Yes, I am standing here.
Let us be about it.
I shall throw this upon him. Predictable. What? Every step you will take, every move you will make, the sun sees all. Now fall! Actually, hey, where am I? Oh, I'm nowhere to be seen. That's kind of lame. Time to finish this.
Ether, to me.
It's Yuna's dance.
Have at you.
What strength? What grace is this? Here comes the burn, savage.
Never have I felt such bliss in defeat.
Yeah, I had to beat her quickly. It was getting way too sexually tensioned.
It was a battle to burn soul and flesh to ash. We Dothal will lend you our strength as promised. Narma's power is yours to wield. What does the sun say to that?
The sun is not driven by base motives such as yours. But they have been judged and found worthy. It is the way of the Oranir to accord recognition and respect to the strong. You have made sufficient proof of your strength. The sun shall answer your call.
You have our thanks. We are glad to call you allies.
You? By what are you called?
Y'shtola, why?
Are you my Nama?
I
What?
beg your pardon?
What?
In battle, you shone with all the majesty of the full moon's light. Your healing touch, the embodiment of the Dusk Mother's love. Long had I wondered if my Nama might not be a woman of the steppe. Beholding you, I am all but certain. Now, look into my eyes. Could it be? Could you be?
I love how she smiles first.
I am. Not interested, little son. Try again when you've become a man.
Little?
He sounds so defeated.
Little son! Little son! Does it pain you, little son? Crave you salve to soothe the ache? Fire to sear the wound in your heart?
We have wasted enough time here. Siren awaits for word of our success.
Alright, I'm not dealing with this. I'm out of here. Bye. You guys have fun. You had not only to contend with Sadu, but Magnai too. Such a fierce battle that must have been, yet here you stand triumphant. Having passed such a test, they could not well deny you their allegiance. The mole will make no such demands. Weak though we are, we will gladly stand with you. The steppe is our home, and we will defend it with all our being. You have my heartfelt thanks. Of all the tribes of the steppe, there is none I would rather have on my side. God's willing, many more will rally to our cause. I shall send you word when we have the answers from all the tribes. I cannot thank you well enough, Serna. None of this would have been possible without you. We have the requisite consent. It is time to put Nama's power to use. If the Aether flows as planned, all that remains is to have the Ironworks engineers do the work at the ruins. Come, let us return to the House of the Crooked Coin. Bye, Serena. You just fly up, and in the distance, all you see is like explosions and shit. I shall begin at once. You may wish to step back. You know, it's also funny that Y'shtola is the Sunseeker Makote. And yet, the Sunseeker rejects the little sun. You okay?
Did it work?
It did. Ether may flow freely to the burn once more.
I do not pretend to understand what you did, Y'shtola, but you did it. Thanks to you and Niran, of course, we have taken a momentous step towards securing our defenses. Now, as much as I believe the rest is in order, we should probably make haste back to the Enclave. Agreed. The others may have already returned from their missions, and I would know how things stand. As would I. Without further ado, then. Do 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 do. Whoops. Alize. Sorry, had something getting stuck in my throat. Judging by your triumphant inspections, I take all went well on the Azim step. Indeed, we have secured a suitable source of energy for the barrier. Good. Tatara and I have commissioned Garlean iWorks to ensure that the field generators function as they should. The team of engineers stand ready to set out for the burn on a moment's notice. You need only say the word. I thank you for engaging the services on our behalf. The minutiae of the arrangement you may leave to me. Which just leaves the small matter of our alliance. So, Yagiri and Hakuro, how you fared you with our neighbors? My lord, all the factions we approached are in agreement that the Empire poses a threat, and many responded positively to the talk of an alliance. From Hingashi to Suino Sato, however, we received outright rejections. The former will not break its treaty with the Empire, and the latter will not involve itself in conflict. Just as we expected then. There is naught to be done about it. We must focus on the rest. To each of the nations that were amenable to an alliance, I will personally send a missive. And once I have attended to that, I believe we will have done everything we can fortify Doma's defenses. For the time being, at least. All of which means I may leave for the meeting in Alamigo with a lighter heart. Agiri, Hakuro, if you'd be so kind as to hold the fort in my absence. My friends, we could not have achieved so much in a little time without your help. For that I give you my heartfelt thanks. Till the meeting, then. I took the liberty of asking Thancred to attend as well. He should have arrived in the Alamigan quarter by now. Then let us not keep him waiting, shall we? It's raining again! It has been raining non-stop in this game. Like, I did the event on 2 of my alts, which were on different days, and every time it was raining. Stella has told me all, and I duly told Oriel J and Cryle. Cryle in particular was concerned about Alphino, but I assured her that everything can be done is being done. She agreed to continue with her own task for the time being, on the condition that I contact her the moment there is any development. So that leaves 4 of us to attend the council. Arnvald is here to assist with security, incidentally, though the poor lad seems altogether too distracted for another task. Another one missing Alphino, I suspect. But time is it's almost time. As soon as you are ready, present yourself to the guardsmen at the palace entrance. I shan't be far behind. I am going to put my sword away so it doesn't stab me while I sit. Oh, the Scions of the 7th Dawn will come out of Eagle, blah 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 blah. Cutscenes playing in sequence.
Mistress Lys, Commander Aldin, it gives me great pleasure to formally welcome the city-state of Alamigo to the Eorzean Alliance.
I don't know why, I just think of the SpongeBob thing where SpongeBob says hi Squidward twice and he's like, I like Squidward. I just think, Mistress Lys, Commander Aldin. Commander Aldin. Wait, why'd you say that twice? I like him.
The pleasure is ours, Your Grace. I know I speak for all Alamegans when I say that we are glad of this chance to stand with our comrades of the Alliance.
And we for our part are glad indeed to be able to welcome friends both old and new.
Lord Hien of Doma, at your service. Pray, accept my heartfelt thanks for your generous invitation.
Nay, 'tis we who must thank you for journeying so far. And 'twould be remiss of me not to acknowledge the part the Scions of the 7th Dawn have played in bringing all of us together.
So people have been putting him and other characters in Clive's armor, and he is by far the sexiest in those clothes.
In times of great unrest, you and yours have been our constant companions, without whom we would not be here.
With apologies to Lord Hien and Mistress Alize, it occurs to me that we have not gathered in this way since that fateful day in Uldar.
What, the one where I was blamed for your assassination?
The day I lost my arm and my freedom. As I lay in my cell, never did I dream that I would one day be given the chance to represent my homeland at this council. I would not even be alive had you not plucked me from the jaws of death. You, Yugiri, and Alphino. Would that the lad could be with us.
I too owe my presence here to Alphino, in so many ways. Until such time as he returns, I mean to carry on his good work as best I can.
Come, friends. Let us leave the past in the past and turn our eyes to the future. My Lord Hien, pray, tell us how things stand in the East.
Having heard the rumors of dissent in Garlemald, I dared to dream of a peaceable solution.
The Empire will not so easily change its ways. If the Garleans have a mind to take back Doma and Alamigo, we'll be hard-pressed to stop them, even with the might of 6 nations. But while we lack the strength to fight the tide, a course may yet present itself, if we read the winds aright.
The winds suggest but one course to me. One which leads from the sea unto the river, and thence to the source of all our woes.
The Ascians.
Indeed. All here have felt their blighted touch. It was the bringers of chaos who nurtured the Archbishop's tyrannical ambitions. They who bestowed upon him the secrets of summoning, as they have so many others before and since. And while they remain, we shall know no peace.
Our objective is clear. The question is how to achieve it. That our enemy parades about in Xenos' skin poses problems in itself, but ere we get to them, how are we to infiltrate the Empire and get close enough to strike?
While I see the wisdom in targeting the Ascians, an assassination attempt on Garlean soil would do little to aid our cause, even were it to succeed. It's time we used our enemy's preferred tactic: subterfuge.
You have an idea?
Speak your mind, Master Thancred. None here know the enemy better than the scions, and you mayhap best of all. Whatever it is you propose, we will give it fair hearing. On that you have my word.
Very well, Admiral. My proposal is thus. We dispatch the shinobi to Imperial territory. There, they sow the rumor that the Crown Prince perished in the battle for Alamigo, and that the man parading around is in fact a corpse inhabited by a servant of darkness.
Well, it does have the ring of truth about it. And were the Garleans to learn that their future ruler is a puppet, the Empire would be shaken to the core.
But at the risk of sounding stupid, would they actually believe such an unlikely story? I didn't.
Ordinarily not. But prior to his miraculous recovery, rumors of Xenos' death had already begun to circulate around the Empire. Ultimately, however, what the masses believe is not our chief concern. Our true objective is to create an opening for rival factions within Garlemald to exploit.
Just as a war of succession erupted in the wake of Emperor Solus's death.
A war which raged until but recently, plunging the Imperial House into disarray as nephew and uncle grappled for the throne. It is no coincidence that one of Varus's first acts as Emperor was to name Xenos heir apparent, family feuds being so tiresome when armies are involved. Not all welcomed his choice of successor, however. There is no shortage of individuals who aspire to the throne, who would jump at any chance to seize power. The news that Xenos is not only dead, but a puppet to diabolical forces, would be too enticing to ignore.
The Empire would not be quick to recover from a second war of succession.
I am no stranger to infiltrating Imperial territory. With a team of operatives gathered from among the Alliance's finest, the plan should have a reasonable chance of success.
Doma already has shinobi in place throughout the provinces. We stand ready to act, and act we must. What say you all?
I'm for Master Thancred's proposal. We shine a light upon the Ascian and test the Empire's unity. 'Twas his plot that scuttled Doma's negotiations, was it not? Why then, if we can eliminate him, there may yet be a chance for peace. Let us wage this war of subterfuge, that we may one day lay down our arms. Gods know we never will while the Ascians remain.
Ugh, what is this, the Echo? Why now? Wait, what?
History must be changed.
Who is this? Who gave you this number?
Ahead looms a calamity. Ahead looms light, expunging all form and life. Twin dooms only you can forestall. Only you.
What's the matter?
There's a voice.
Spies in our midst?
Nay, I sense no such presence.
Let expanse contract. Eon become instant. Throw wide the gates that we may pass.
Oh, that's a hell of a headache.
Is it over?
Master Thancred!
12 for Fend. Bear him to a private chamber. Have every healer make ready. Swiftly!
Master Thancred remains in slumber. Though his vital signs appear stable, he's unresponsive.
What could have done this? And why just him and not the others?
I'm afraid we could not identify the cause, my lady. Our examinations revealed no wounds, nor the presence of any poisonous substances.
Gods, that only makes it worse. You're to let us know the moment there's any change, all right?
Thank you for coming. Knowing Thancred, he would apologize for being otherwise engaged at so crucial a juncture.
In gifting us a course of action, Thancred sowed the seed of all that is to follow. We have but to nurture it as best we can. To him, I would say, rest easy, that he may wake to enjoy the fruits of our labors. Now, the matter of the mysterious voice must not be forgotten. Will you tell me exactly what happened?
Alize and I heard a voice in the moments before Thancred collapsed. It was accompanied by a severe headache, as if something were clutching at our minds. Did you experience the same thing?
Yeah, at first I thought it was the echo, but considering you guys felt it.
So, in between the voice and the pain, you felt as if you were somewhere else entirely.
Your testimony confirms my suspicion. That which you experienced was, I believe, your soul being plucked from your flesh. Called.
Called?
I myself examined Thancred. Reach out as I may, I could not sense in him the spark of life that is his soul. That Thancred alone was stricken so is likely due to his heightened sensitivity to the effects of ether, a consequence of his prior possession by the Ascian Lahabrea. The owner of the voice, whoever it may be, reached out to you, called your souls, and in so doing, caused you and yours such pain.
But if that's true, where exactly are we being called to?
I know not. Yet one thing is plain. Whoever waits for you on the other side is possessed of a power unlike any I have ever known.
Forgive us, Lys, but may we leave Thancred in your care for a time?
As if you had to ask. I may not be a scion anymore, but I'm no less a friend. Don't worry. I'll see to it that Thancred's well looked after. Just focus on solving this mystery, all right?
Thank you, Lys. As the Elder Seedseer says, 'tis no ordinary individual we are dealing with. Nor can we discount the possibility of Ascian involvement.
Whoever or whatever is behind this, the sooner we find out, the better.
I just tried to call Retold on his link pal. He didn't respond. But I dare to hope that he possesses some knowledge we do not. Ah, Retold. Something happened during the meeting. Thancred's collapsed. A disembodied voice suddenly stopped. What? But that's... We should talk about this in person. Alright, we'll meet you there. It was Retold. He heard the voice too. In Thanalan? As we alone were afflicted at the meeting, I had my suspicions, but the voice also spoke to Retold. There could be little no scions were targeted specifically. By whom and to what end is the question, one to which we must find an answer in all possible haste. Dang, Lys, aren't you lucky that you were not targeted, but all the scions were? Dang, it's almost like you're getting sidelined again. Retold agreed to meet us at the Rising Stones. If any of the others heard the voice, we'll find out soon enough. Good luck. I should get back to meeting with the Elder Seedseer, but if there's anything I can do, anything at all, you must let me know, alright? Promise me. Alright then, let's be on our way. Meanwhile, thousands of miles away. Nah, my lady.
Retold! Gods, it's good to see you.
Would that our meeting were under happier circumstances. I judged the voice sufficient cause for concern even before you sent word of its effect on our comrade.
You heard it too, then?
Aye. And all but certainly at the selfsame instant.
Frank,
As
shush.
pained as I was,
Serious.
I could make little sense of what few words did then reach mine ears.
Who do you think is responsible? Could this be the Ascians doing?
I think if it was the Ascians doing, they'd be a little bit more effective.
That I cannot say. Not when so little is known. Ere I indulge in speculation, I would examine Thancred with mine own eyes.
To Alamigo, then, without further delay.
One other thing. During my visit to the Far East, I observed a strange phenomenon.
Thou referrest, I presume, to the localized reduction in etheric density.
Well, that spares me the trouble of an explanation. Yes. I noted precisely that at two apparently unconnected locations. I take it the phenomenon is not limited to the Far East.
I like that. Wait, I have something I need to discuss with you. Yeah, I already know about it. How?
Indeed not. Of late, our agents charged with surveilling the beast tribes have spoken of little else. In every corner of the realm, they tell of places in which the ether hath grown thin. Naturally, my suspicions first turned to primal activity, but the areas thus affected betray no evidence of summoning. I must confess to being quite perplexed.
If the same phenomenon is being observed in multiple locations on opposite sides of the world, we may safely discount regional factors. Needless to say, this warrants further investigation.
Indeed. I shall make it my top.
Oriange?
The voice. It calleth to me once more.
I hear it too.
Oh, come on, not again.
Only you. Only you.
No! Ishtola! Oriange!
Throw wide the gates.
Okay, still here.
No. No, this can't be happening! Y'shtola! Oriange! Open your eyes! Open your eyes, I beg you! Say something! Anything! Not again. Please, not again.
What the hell is going on? I was like, come on, we gotta get the healers. Forgive me, that was an unseemly display. It happened before your very eyes, my lady. None here would have behaved any differently. We have borne the two of them to the private chamber, but tell me, is it true that Master Thancred languishes in a like state in Alamigo? I'm afraid so, though given the circumstances it would seem best to observe them together. I will send word to Lys that he shall be brought here. Take heart, my lady. The world is full of scholars and knowledgeable folk of every persuasion. Someone out there is bound to know what ails our comrades, how they may be cured. Thus we will rouse them, no matter what. That we will, Hori. That we will. But first things first, our comrades will have questions. May I ask that you explain the situation to them? I must attend to a private matter. Psst. I promised I'd visit someone in Limsa Lominsa. He's been waiting at the Maelstrom Command for a while now. You know, you should come along too. I think he'd be glad to see you. Sure. Eliane, please take care of them. Speaking of which, popping that sword back on. As you probably guessed, it's Gabu we come to see. The private here will bring him out to us. Ever since the maelstrom took him in, I've tried to visit her as often as I can, and after what befell our friends, I was taken by the urge to visit again. It's difficult to explain.
Here he is, my lady.
Gabu, it's been too long.
I'm afraid there's been no change. If he can see or hear us, he has given no sign.
I see. You're still fighting. I'm proud of you. We promised that we would come and visit you together, didn't we? Alphino and I. I'm sorry that we haven't managed that yet. You know, with the three of us like this, does it not remind you of that night? Of the stars beyond count twinkling in the heavens? I was feeling pretty low back then. Powerless. But I knew that my brother was close by if I needed him, and that the others would be waiting for me back at the Rising Stones. Not like now. I've seen my share of trouble since coming to Eorzea. Been reminded again and again of my limitations, of how little I can change about this world. And I've come to know the sorrow of parting all too well. But to have the people I hold dear struck down before my eyes, and be powerless to help them, that I cannot bear.
You don't have to bear this burden alone.
No, I don't. You're right. It's pure arrogance to imagine I can solve everything by myself. You'd think I'd have learned that by now. Thank you. I don't know what I'd do without you. Well, that's more than enough brooding for one day. Come on. We have friends to save.
That we do. Let us return to the Rising Stones and take it from there. Thanks again for agreeing to come. It meant a lot to me. Ah, yes. The end of patch stance, where someone will stand by. I did some thinking on the way back, and I think Hori's right. We need to seek outside help. Ordinarily, we return to our own experts on such matters, but to both among the stricken. I'll begin by reaching out to the myriad guilds and research institutions here in Eorzea. Additionally, my grandfather and Minfilia had a wealth of connections between them. We need to explore those avenues too. Avenues. I'll find a way to save everyone. Mark my words. Much more has happened in recent days, some of it for the good, some not so. But all around me, people continue their fight. From the shinobi who search for Alphino to the Alliance members who make ready to move against the Empire. They march on in the face of great adversity, bearing heavy burdens. Everyone is playing their part, and so must I. You have your own part to play, I know, and it's bigger than most, so I won't keep you. Just promise that you'll visit from time to time, and I promise I'll have good tidings to share with you when you do. Meanwhile, thousands of miles away.
The Populares no longer present an obstacle. Now is the time to bring the Empire's might to bear. A word from your Radiance is all it takes. But one word, and the Imperial army will fall upon Alamigo as a pack of bloodthirsty wolves and tear that feeble nation apart. For me?
Have you no words for me, Daddy? Don't ever say that to me again.
Despite the lengths I go to, an emissary playing the part of a fool. When first I took this face, I swore to use all of my knowledge, all of my power, to further the cause of the Empire. My deeds stand testament to my commitment. And with this adamant flesh at my disposal, I could destroy the Icon Slayer as easily as one might swat a fly. Why do you hesitate? Our enemy is resourceful. Though victory is certain now, it will not remain so indefinitely. Deliberate if you must, but be quick about it. We'll speak again when you have unburdened yourself of doubt. Until then, I take my leave, Father.
Should be the one to sigh. I played my part to perfection. I had earned my rest, and then thanks to La Habrea's crowning act of idiocy, our favorite emissary sees fit to summon me back. Elidibus was ever a warrior. A most tiresome trait, would you not agree? What? Have you no words for me either? No matter. I've long grown weary of this mummery. Now, my dearest grandson, let me remind you of your place in the simplest of terms.
You do not make judgments, you administer them. Swiftly and to the letter. Naught else is your concern. Elidibus may be an insufferable bore, but he is no fool. His choices as emissary seldom err. If aught threatens the balance twixt light and dark, it falls to you to remove it. Be it by your own hands or by your armies, you have ample means at your disposal. That is why this empire exists, why I built it. Oh dear, have I touched a nerve? You always were an easy one to read. I pity you, I do. As they say, ignorance is bliss. And I know how much happier you would be not knowing the things you know. The Founding Father was an Ascian, and he created the Empire solely for the purpose of sowing the seeds of chaos. Don't take it personally. I merely do my duty. To bring about a calamity requires no small amount of power, and there is no surer way to obtain such power than by collecting powerful pawns. To that end, I have labored long and hard, and I must say I am quite pleased with my handiwork, paltry though it seems in comparison to Alec.
Oh my god, he's dead.
You fiends are overfond of your own voices. Mark me, Ascian. Man is the master of his own destiny.
Such a waste of time and energy, both yours and mine. Lest you forget you are Emperor now. If you wish to spout drivel about man's destiny, save it for the masses. It will serve to give them a sense of purpose, and you pliant pieces for the game. Oh, do stop sulking, boy. You, of all people, should understand. Ours is a struggle to restore both mankind and the world to their rightful state. Viewed thus, our goals are one and the same.
I love that twist when it came out. Meanwhile, the Resistance encampment somewhere in the Empire. Oh, I guess they couldn't afford to voice this. What in the world? What was that? What in the world? Dead. All dead, yet I see no wounds, nor any evidence of battle. Damn them. They finally used it. The Empire developed an alchemical weapon in Garlemald, a gas. Black Rose it was called, and to breathe it is to breathe your last. And that did this! I thought the project abandoned, and its vile fruit destroyed. None else could have wrought such an atrocity. Fools. What do they hope to gain with this butchery? Can they not see that a rule won through terror will not endure? How many more promises must they lose? Nay, wait. It's not the work of men, but monsters. The Ascians. It cannot be coincidence that their trail led us here. Their objective was never to rule, but to sow strife and discord. Such crime does indeed bear the mark of the bringers of chaos. Black Rose cannot be allowed to kill again. We must find the Ascians and put an end to the plot. I'll go for another half hour. Squeeze in as much as I can.
I'm glad you've come, though I'm afraid there's little in the way of good news. After you left, we reached out to both the Alchemists Guild and Stillglade Fane and attempted all manner of treatments. But the results were always the same. Whatever the answer is, it's not alchemy or conjuring. Why did it have to be Y'shtola and Urianger and not me? Out of all of us, they are the ones who could feasibly have solved this puzzle. And Alphino's still missing. Gods, it's all going wrong. Where do we even start?
A grave situation indeed. Might I be of some assistance?
Why, that sounds like... Kryl.
Kryl? I thought you busy delving into the mysteries of Eureka.
When word reached me of the plight of our friends, I could not well stay away. As a fellow scion, not to mention your erstwhile mentor, this is one of those times you should feel free to call on me, regardless of my personal circumstances.
Yes, I should have thought of that.
Oh yeah, I forgot, like, Eureka was introduced.
Thank you for coming, Kryl. We would welcome your insight.
And I should be happy to provide it. Now, what's this I hear about Alphino heading into Imperial territory? That boy always did have some funny ideas.
Do you remember the speech he gave when he was accepted to the Studium? My life's goal is naught less than the salvation of this star.
Yeah, I guess I had to be there.
The announcement has been a source of great embarrassment to him, as you know.
But the fact of the matter is, he meant every word and has lived his life accordingly. Yes, he remains altruistic to a fault, but I'm worried he was too fixated on his goals to see the dangers, as has happened before.
You needn't be so concerned. Though his values remain the same, Alphino is not the blinkered boy he once was. Slowly but surely his eyes have been opened, thanks to a certain someone. A certain someone whom he'd be mortified to learn had heard about his little speech. Mum's the word, eh?
No promises, but sure.
Right, I'd better have a look at our patients. They're in the infirmary, I assume. I'll need absolute quiet, so it would be best if I did this alone. If you'll excuse me.
Once again, I forgot to turn off my sword, which is now stabbing me through my chest.
All three are in fine physical health. At a glance, I would say they were merely sound asleep. Except for the fact that I couldn't sense the slightest trace of them in their bodies. It's as if their souls have taken leave of their physical forms.
Ah, yes. The Elder Seedseer made a similar observation.
I've read the report. When you heard this mysterious voice, you described feeling as if you were somewhere else, yes?
Yeah, kind of like when the echo kicks in, but more painful.
If we assume the ether which comprises your essence is being drawn to some other place, then it may be possible to follow the trail it leaves behind, just as we did in our search for Thancred.
I wasn't around for that, but I can't imagine it was easy.
Oh, it wasn't. But that's no reason not to try. I will have need of Master Matoya's crystal eye if I'm even to make the attempt. So, I suggest we pay her a visit.
Oh boy, Grandma's house. We're gonna go see Grandma. 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 No. No. This side, right? Yes. This is one of the places I don't mind where it's not, you know, bright and sunny. Like the cloudy weather and all. It fits the area. High in the mountains, it's always cold. With all the mountain peaks, clouds get trapped and the moisture builds up. And there's Alexander stuck in its time stasis. I heard Master Matoya was something of a recluse, but this seems extreme. Still, I'll happily overlook her eccentricities if she agrees to help us.
To disturb my peace again, have you? I hide myself away in a cave, and still you people insist on pestering me with your problems. Oh, I mistook you for young what's-his-name, but I see now you're the sister. Weren't you supposed to be the lively one? I've seen happier faces at a rain-sodden burial.
Well, I'm sorry to dash your expectations, but the situation isn't exactly conducive to gaiety.
Ha! That's more like it. Stoller used to spit and hiss like a wildcat too. Better for a young thing like you to be filled with fire and leave the doom and gloom to your elders.
Hi, Grandma.
Now, what exactly does this tragic situation of yours have to do with me?
If I may, Master Matoya, we have need of your crystal eye once more.
And Stoller is one of the afflicted, is she? Very well. She may be an ungrateful stray, but she's my ungrateful stray, and I'll not see her buried before I am.
Oh, you love it when she cares. Every ounce of venom she spits is filled with love.
Right. Let us see what we can see. I'll begin from where our friends first fell, and cast my senses out from there.
What is it? Did you find them?
This doesn't make sense. How is it even possible?
How is what possible? Kryl, what did you see?
The threads, they just ended. And no, I didn't lose track of them. I followed them as far as they went. It's as if they were cut off.
Could the ether have dissipated if it had? Oh, gods! Their bodies are just husks. It's like the broodmother's daughter all over again.
The lights are on, but no one's home.
No, this is different. The Kalyana girl was already dead, body and soul, when Lakshmi effected her resurrection.
Aye, let's not jump to conclusions. If their physical forms yet breathe and show no signs of wasting, then it follows that their souls must still be intact somewhere.
But where?
That's the question, isn't it, girl? Death has not taken them to the ethereal sea, yet there are no tracks left for us to follow.
We're no closer to an answer than when we started. But knowing their souls are still out there is progress of a sort. We just have to keep looking. Pray, excuse me a moment. Yes? I remember, but... What, to Alamigo? We're on our way. That was Lise. Apparently, a group of Populares have defected to Alamigo, and Maxima, the envoy Alphino left with, is one of them. I'm sorry. I realize we've barely begun here, but...
Go, child, go! You've made up your mind, and life's too short for dithering.
I'll do some digging in the meantime and see if there isn't some other method we could use to continue the search.
Let's be off then.
Oh, not again. The enchantment barely seems to take these days. I'd chalk it up to old age, but I rather doubt it's that simple.
Swish, swisharoo.
Before they took ill, Y'shtola and Urianger were sharing notes on a thinning of the ether. It seems to be happening all over.
Does it now? And here I was, all set to blame my woes on that creaking mountain of refuse clogging up the Thaliac.
She's talking about Alexander.
I fear something has gone awry. Still, there's naught to be gained from starting in shadows. You can only do what can be done, and that but one thing at a time.
I wonder if she says that regardless of whether or not you've done the Alexander stuff. Because either way, it works if you've done it or you haven't. Also, bye, Grandma. So that was the woman who tamed Y'shtola. I had a distinct feeling of being grabbed by the scruff of the neck and having the nonsense shaken out of me. When Alphino is back, I'd like to visit again and ask her what tales she has of Grandfather. Oh, we would have each other's throats, and there'd be some nights when the clothes flew off. Okay, that's enough. I can't bear to hear what Maxima has to tell us. That can't be bad news, can it? Lise would have said, unless... There's no point in speculating. Lise said she notified the gods of our coming, so we should head straight to the palace gate in the Alamigan Quarter. We'll be praying for good news, learn what you can of Alphino's plight, and leave the search of our friends' lost souls to me. Lise, wait, Alamigo's in the other direction. Also, oh my god, again, it's raining.
I'm sorry to drag you halfway across the realm, but when Maxima mentioned Alphino, I thought you'd want to hear the news in person.
Ah, we meet again. Though I was hoping our reunion would be under more auspicious circumstances.
What happened to my brother? Where is Alphino?
Easy, Alize.
Never fear, my lady. Your brother was in fine health when I took my leave of him, and I have no reason to assume that has changed.
You assume?
If you will allow me, I shall endeavor to explain events. Our troubles began not long after we departed Doma. While crossing the burn, we were fired upon by the Emperor's personal guard and forced to make an emergency landing. As we stumbled from the wreckage, our attackers fell upon us again, and we would have perished there and then were it not for the intercession of a third party, a band of mercenaries whose leader claimed to pursue a vendetta against the Ascians. This shadow hunter, as he styled himself, then escorted us out of the wastes to relative safety. Upon arriving back in civilization, I gathered my Populares colleagues and prepared to flee the Empire. Master Alphino, however, declined the invitation to join us, preferring to continue his investigation into the Ascian threat.
Well, at least he's not lying in a heap in the burn. Tell us more about these Ascian hunters. Who are they? And is Alphino still with them?
He is. As to who they are, I'm afraid I have nothing to tell you. Beyond the fact that they root out and destroy Ascians, they were unwilling to divulge anything which might serve to identify them. They would not even reveal their next destination. But Master Alphino asked to accompany them all the same. Since parting company with your brother, we've been engaged in a game of cat and mouse with the Emperor's guard. We made our way through province after province, finding the army busy restoring order wherever we went, until we finally arrived here in Alamigo. I cannot thank Commander Aldin enough for giving us such an unexpectedly warm welcome.
I'm not inclined to turn away refugees, no matter which land they call home. And if they can tell me how things lie in Garlemald, all the better.
On that subject, there is much I would tell you. During the course of our journey, we heard tales that an entire rebel army had been slaughtered in the space of a single night. It would seem my former comrades grew tired of putting down uprisings in the conventional manner, and chose instead to bring a formidable new weapon to bear. Details were sparse, but the rumor alone was enough to dampen the flames of rebellion. I have also heard reports that several companies have withdrawn from their designated provinces and begun marching westward. It is my assessment that the Empire's forces are mobilizing for a large-scale military engagement.
Westward? You mean they're getting ready to invade Alamigo?
We knew this was coming, but not that it would be so soon.
We've barely even begun to shore up our defenses. They won't stop an invading army.
No, they won't. Dispatch messengers to the Alliance leadership requesting reinforcements, and send word to our officers in the field to hasten completion of those border fortifications. Prepare to meet the Imperials head-on! No matter how quickly we act, we still want for time. When the enemy comes into view, our best recourse will be to open negotiations with their commander, and see that the ensuing proceedings take as long as possible.
Would you and Alize head to Doma and let Lord Hien know about this? I'm sure he'll want to hear about Alphino too.
Consider it done. We'll send word when...
Oh, not again.
Untold sorrow must be changed. Ahead looms a calamity. Eon become instant. Throw wide the gates.
Ugh.
You heard it too.
Yeah.
At least we're both still standing.
Oh, thank the gods. I thought we'd lost you for a moment there. Why does this keep happening?
And why not to me?
I wish I knew. Nothing we've tried has brought us any closer to an answer. We'll keep working on it. But first, we need to go and see Lord Hien.
Oh, well, that was so, god damn, it's still fucking raining. That was uncalled for. So Alphino is safe, for the present at least. All we need to worry about is a full-scale Imperial invasion. Actually glad at least tasked us with visiting Lord Hien, to be dashing from place to place, sitting around stewing over things we can't change, to the Enclave. This makes me wonder if the second's being deployed along with the others. I need the absolute speed of a chocobo to reach this spot. Oh. Hey, from Damaska. Full of Rabanastos is not the end of our nation. We who survived were later treated on the ground and have been gathering strength to mount a counter-offensive. Damaska will rise again. Tensui! They has enjoyed the freedom of the Ruby Sea for long enough. It's time they paid their dues. Oh, I was kind of wishing Sorban would be here, but I know he's busy. Greetings, my friends. I was just discussing future endeavors with the members of our newly formed alliance. The Kojin and the Confederacy you already know, and it was your own strength of arms that won us the cooperation of the Steppe tribes. We've been also joined by our neighbors from Naxia and the indomitable citizens of Dalmasca. The scattered nature of the latter's resistance will somewhat delay our official induction. These proud peoples have united under a single purpose, to stand against the tyranny of the Garlean Empire. I'm glad to see your alliance is coming together so swiftly. As things stand, I feel we shall soon have need of your strength. I thank you for bringing me news of Alphino. It's very far from my thoughts. It's never far from my thoughts. And not only because of he's our emissary, as for the sudden deployment of Imperial forces, I agree that Alamigo would be wise to shore up its borders with all haste. Every report we receive from our shinobi indicates a massing of troops in the western provinces. It seems all but certain that the Empire is posed to bring its fist down upon Eorzea. And that would help deflect that blow, but I cannot risk sending reinforcements just yet. We will remain vulnerable to everyone assault until our wall and the burn is in place. The all-important elegant energy barrier. The energy barrier, yes, I thought to call it something more auspicious. A name drawn from the four Lords of Legends, perhaps. Say use Aegis or some such. Well, just a thought. The Ironworks engineers report that they have finished calibrating the generators and are ready to proceed to the testing stage. Have you time to attend the first test? You've seen the field which protected Azazel firsthand. Now I'd be interested how you think ours compares. I'll come too if you don't mind, though I'm no Ishtola, I may be able to offer some insight. Of course, time being of the essence, it would be best if we made directly for the burn. Yagiri, I leave you and Hakuro to bring our war council to a close. Understood. Our mounts are saddled and ready, my lord. Where are the storms? We will cross the burn by Yol and Falcon, as before. Join me at the overlook near the House of the Fierce. Doom, 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 doom. Doom. Da-da-da. Doom. Give the word when you are ready to take wing. Let us head to the burn. The burn. Savage. Ultimate unlocked. Deliverable only by Y'shtola to one man.
It seems the engineers have matters well in hand. Should the barrier work as we intend, Doma will be free to reinforce her allies in Alamigo without fear of weakening her own borders. Honored friends, the time has come to put your hard work to the test. Start the generator.
Node 1 is operational. Nodes 2 to 8 are reporting similar energy levels. The barrier is forming. $1,000 yards. 2,000. 3,000. Expansion remains smooth. No fluctuations detected. $4,000. 5,000. Target altitude reached. The barrier is holding steady at 5,000 yards. We've done it.
Is that an Imperial airship? Of all the rotten timing.
But this is a gift, Mistress Alize. They can test our new wool for us. Seems solid enough, though I was hoping for a fireball.
Alphino.
By the gods, it's Alphino. What are you? Let me go! He has my brother!
Lower the barrier!
I better go too.
Be at ease, girl. The lad is not dead, merely locked in slumber.
No, not him too.
So the last headache we had, Alphina was called.
We could identify no cause and found no remedy. Thus I sought to return him to Doma, and into the arms of Lord Hein himself, it would seem. It is a day for fated reunions. Would you not agree, adventurer? Or should I address you as the Warrior of Light?
Lord Gaius.
Aye. Gaius van Baelsar, the Black Wolf. That was the title I was given. One I have long since relinquished. Stand down. The legatus of the 14th Imperial Legion died in Castrum Meridianum. I am no more than Gaius Baelsar, a man without rank or allegiance.
Impossible! There's no way you could have survived!
Do you remember how it unfolded? How I was deceived by La Habrea? How I was convinced that reviving the Ultima weapon would allow me to bring peace to Eorzea? The Ascian used me, as he used so many others, all to further the restoration of his wretched god. Yet even with the might of Alec at my command, you bested me. And as the Praetorium went up in flames, I was content to burn along with it. For a moment at least. A moment of folly. To surrender my life thus would have been to betray all who died for my cause. It was for them that I dragged myself free of the rubble, and swore vengeance on the Ascians. The Black Wolf has shed his pelt, never to return to Garlemald or her legions. I live now only to exact revenge. My principal quarry was to be La Habrea, whom I gather you have since ushered onto oblivion.
Along with several others.
But so many more remain. Long as their kind lurked in the shadows, laboring to sow chaos throughout our world, I would see each and every one dragged into the light and put to the sword. Are the scions not of like mind?
In this single respect, perhaps.
Then I shall continue the partnership the boy began, and share what intelligence I have acquired. Among the Ascians, the Black-masked ilk are subordinate to those who wear red. This you already know. Yet among the red there exists a hierarchy. Those set adrift with the shards clearly stand below those still joined to the source. Nabriales, who once dared to intrude upon the Rising Stones, belonged to the former group, and while he was indeed a dangerous foe, his powers were inconsequential next to the paragons of the Source. The first was La Habrea, who plagues us no more. There is also the white-robed Elidibus, and the elusive Emmet Selk, about whom little is known.
We have files on La Habrea and Elidibus, but I believe this Emmet Selk is new to us? As I assume my brother told you, we have evidence to suggest that an Ascian now walks in the body of the Crown Prince. Have you identified this interloper?
Elidibus seems the most likely culprit. As emissary, it is his role to maintain the equilibrium between darkness and light. Your many deeds in Hydaelyn's name have upset the balance, and I believe he seeks to restore it by throwing his considerable power behind the Empire. As a leader of the Ascians, he is one of our primary targets. It was on the trail of this very prey that the boy and I came across the scene of a failed uprising. In the absence of a single Garlean casualty, we inspected the bodies of the rebels, and the lack of any external injury drew my immediate attention. They had been slain by Black Rose, an alchemical invention of the Imperial Army. When I yet served as legatus, I ordered its production halted, and all stockpiles destroyed. Toxic gas is not a tool of conquest, but of extermination.
Toxic gas? This must be the new weapon Maxima warned us about. Something deadly enough to sweep away all resistance in a matter of hours. Gods. You don't think they're planning to use this in Alamigo, do you?
Put your fears to rest. We infiltrated the production facility and destroyed all existing stores of the chemical along with the plant itself. Even should they rebuild the operation, they will not soon manufacture another batch. Regardless, I would draw your attention to a directive we discovered in the plant's records. The document was marked with a recent date and authorized with the signature of one Zeno Galvas.
A dead man signing the death warrant for thousands. 'Tis bad comedy.
But the tale does not end there. Within that same facility was a chamber filled with devices of elegant design. Cloning technology, we realized. And what should we find in each and every incubator? But a young Emperor Solus. All of which prompts the question, were the Ascians responsible for these abominations, or was it the will of the Emperor? I must know which hand guides the Empire. Though I have given up my rank, I am yet a son of Garlemald, and I will fight for the future of my homeland. It is time I return to the hunting of shadows. We should focus on our common foe. To reopen old quarrels now would serve no purpose.
You saved my brother's life, so I'm willing to let sleeping dogs lie. But in truth, it's not my decision to make.
As legatus, your soldiers, those under your command, crossed many lines, and you yourself nearly brought about destruction of a land. But you're right. There are more important matters at hand.
There was a time when I scorned those who placed their faith in false gods, even as I, in my blinkered conviction, place mine in Ascian promises. Unlike yours, my strength of will and my restraint was found wanting. We shall meet again, warrior of light.
So that was the infamous Black Wolf. An unexpected ally, to say the least. Well, I am content to leave the fine-tuning of the barrier to cleverer minds. Let us bid our friends from the Ironworks farewell, and see what can be done for Alphino back in Dorma.
Farewell, Gaius. Alphino is safely ensconced in a private chamber. My finest healer is examining him as we speak. Spoken with the physician, and there are no outward signs of illness. Alphino is lost in a sleep form which he cannot be awoken, just like the others. Seems that even the lands of the Empire were not far enough away to escape that cursed voice. I share your frustration, Alize, I do, but Alphino has returned to us alive and otherwise unharmed. All that remains is to find a means to wake him. Until then, you can but fulfill your duties as a scion, yours and your brother's both. You're right, of course. There are arrangements to be made and little time to make them. To business then, my lord. Now that we know Seryu's wall works as intended, can we expect reinforcements for Alamigo? You most certainly can. As promised, we will send troops to bolster our allies in Eorzea without delay. Pray be aware, however, that they will not arrive without delay. Save for some few who boast teleportation magics, the bulk of our force must be transported by sea, a lengthy voyage for which we smaller vessels favored by the Confederacy are ill-equipped. Accordingly, I mean to enlist the aid of the Eastald and our trading company in finding suitable ships. As for navigating the distances in question, we are happy position of being able to call upon those who plotted the course of my people's exodus to Eorzea. Beyond the procurement of ships, I think it unlikely that our Eastald and our friends will consent to any involvement in military operations, but I am certain that they will afford Alphino a berth aboard one of the vessels. I shall have a Kyogen accompany him every ilm of the way to the Rising Stones. You have my thanks, Lord Hien. Yugiri, I will go ahead with our friends to Alamigo, enlist all those capable of teleportation, and put them at the disposal of the Eorzean Alliance as soon as possible. They will form the vanguard. Yes, my lord. Exactly what we hoped for. At least the Alliance leaders will be glad indeed to welcome the combined strength of the East. Meanwhile, thousands of miles away. Yes. Meanwhile, at the Black Rose chemical plant.
Our supplies at Black Rose have been ruined, but the new plant is already under construction. We should have the first batch ready in time for the offensive, Your Radiance.
See that you do.
Ah, yes, the infamous Black Rose. If I recall correctly, Gaius did not much care for the invention. A ruthless and indiscriminate weapon indeed, this airborne poison. It seems you are capable of making decisions worthy of your bloodline.
With no gift for sorcery, we Garleans must look to Magitech to even the odds. If it spares the needless deaths of our soldiers and serves the cause of this empire, there is no method I would not employ.
How very noble of you. Truly, though, I must commend you for embracing your role as Emperor. You play the part of the determined ruler well. Sometimes even I catch myself believing. A silent agent of death. Now that I think on it, Black Rose may well possess the perfect aspect. Slowly but surely, the deluge of light has worked upon the ether here in the source, and the gas should be most susceptible to its influence. Well, I shall leave you to your own devices. Go forth and bloody the land with your grand and glorious war.
While you do what, precisely?
Need you ask? I will be doing what all Ascians do.
I am well aware that your kind exists only to usher in the next calamity. But you seem oblivious to the harm your singular agenda causes to the Empire. You cannot have forgotten the events which followed your mortal demise. Our homeland was plunged into civil war for your failure to name a successor. The edifice you so carefully constructed was but a hair's breadth from collapse.
Are you truly so naive? You thought me oblivious to the consequences of a departure so painstakingly timed?
It was by design?
Well, of course it was. Though I will admit the resulting panic exceeded even my wildest expectations. But how can you be surprised? Throwing the world into disarray was the very purpose for which this nation was, as you say, so carefully constructed. Now, if you have no further questions, I must be on my way. Since we may not meet again in this lifetime, it would be remiss of me not to offer a word or two of gratitude. I really must thank you for this surplus of vessels. I can mold any host into my own image, but having bodies tailor-made for me in this fashion is so much less tiresome. You dabbled in Allagan cloning techniques, yes? It certainly is a compelling, not to mention entertaining, field of research. And of all the options available, you chose the Founding Father on whom to experiment. You have a twisted streak to you, Varus. Like grandsire, like grandson, hey? If events play out as planned, this will become something of a family enterprise. You will be the capstone of this world, I the anchor and shard, and together we will give the lie to this star's fraudulent existence.
Alright, I'm going to call it here for tonight. Went a little bit over the time limit, but that's fine. That just means I'm halfway through, I think. Good night, everybody.